Hello, welcome to Chatter 15 Minutes of Fame. I'm your host, Claron Sharif, with my co host, Danielle Ward. Hey!
Oh,
And let me ring that bell,
yeah,
okay? So we officially started.
that's
How are
right.
we doing today?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I cannot complain.
Good. Looking great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Glowing. Yeah. Yeah.
People was asking if I was trying to grow out my hair so I can get some braids. No, no, no. Okay,
No praise.
I'm back.
Oh, you've got a origin fact for us today because
I
our topic
do.
is called breaking legs.
Yes, yes, yes. So I was like wondering where that term came from. Who coined that term? Break a leg.
Hmm.
So I found the usual, I don't know, there was an article that linked to something from like 1920s. And I
Hmm.
was like, but I found this, which is different from anything I've ever heard, from transcendencetheater.org website.
Yeah.
It says, some say the term originated during Elizabethan times when instead of applause, the audience would bang their chairs on the ground. And if they liked it enough, the leg of the chair would break.
Isn't that something? That is
That
something.
is that is very interesting. So now I'm gonna have all my family and friends bring chairs to my live events so they can break
Oh my gosh.
them.
Yeah, I got a story about that one coming up. It's not quite the same, but so before we do get started, we want to take this time out to offer condolences to a few prominent figures in the industry. A special condolences to First Lady Michelle Obama and her family for the passing of her mother, Marion Robinson, Mr. Bill Cobbs, Mr. Donald Sutherland, and Mr. Martin Mull, and the incomparable Angela Bofield. Condolences to all the families. Some powerful entertainers, and they have definitely left a legacy behind.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, on to more happier subject. So, breaking legs,
Please,
acting up, breaking legs.
please.
So, my story, I did a one woman show back in 2015 where I played six different male characters, all male from the ages of 6 to about 80. And I turned down this role about 3 times. Shout out to Don Chandro, who was my director. I can't stop laughing because you're laughing.
I'm sorry.
Um, I originally first it started out with my friend Quentin Neal. Quentin, hey, good friend of mine. He bought me a ticket to go see Black and Blue Boys Broken Men, written by Miss Dayelle Orlando Smith. Went to see her. She performed it. She wrote it. Powerful, powerful theater show. Loss of words, but anyway, um, and I was really taken aback by her performance. So I thought, oh my God, I can't do that. All the different characters and keeping up and memorizing your lines, and it's just you on stage, right? Different voices she used, and all the layers and nuances that she applied to the script. So I get back home maybe some weeks later. Don reaches out to me. He's like, Claron, I've got this play, this book. I really like for you to do this role. I said, oh yeah, I just saw this. No, Don, I can't do that. That's too much. No. He kept coming back. And then my friends, shout out to Gabrielle and Leola. One night I was doing a show right in the middle of a show, and we were on break, I think. And so Gabrielle came backstage and she just stood there. I was like, hey. And she wouldn't move. And she said, say yes. What? Say yes. Say yes to what? And she looked at me like, you know what I'm talking about. She meant the show. Say yes to this role. I said, Gabrielle, I can't do that. That's too much. That's a lot of work, right? She just kept saying it. Say yes. And I stepped to it. I said, listen, I got to get back out here. I'm about to go up. And she'd step to the side. She kept blocking me. I'm like, what are you doing?
She was for
I
real.
said, I was like, can we talk about this afterwards? Afterwards. So after the show was over, everybody left. So we were out in the hallway talking. I said, y'all, that's too much work. I can't do it. And it kept telling me the reasons that I could do it. And then finally they just said, you know what, she ain't gonna do it. Then I got mad. I was like, I I'ma do it. I'ma do it. Watch. I'm gonna prove y'all wrong and I'm gonna do it. Started driving home that night and I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? It was a challenge and I didn't appreciate the things that I should have appreciated at that time because it was
Mm,
just me. There were no other cast members. I had the stage to myself. When I tell you there was so much sniveling and snotting and being scared, not memorizing my lines and messing up, and what if I get stuck, and blah, 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 blah. So it got so bad at one point. I remember going down the stairs in my house and I stopped and looked down the stairs and I said, I wonder if I took a tumble down the stairs and broke my legs. That'll buy me more time to learn the lines. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you've heard? I'm like, Claron, what the hell is wrong with you? I had a conversation with myself, Claron. Yeah. Are you crazy? I need more time. Do you mind, Claron? Yes, I do. You had 6 months, 6 months to learn the lines. I maybe if I caught a cold or something. Oh my God. It was ridiculous. That's how we get so in our heads that
Yeah.
it can and will affect your
Mhm.
performance. I'm
Yeah.
like, but I did have some takeaways. And it one of the things was it opened me up. You know, I used to fret about doing a 3 minute, 5 minute monologue.
Hmm.
I don't worry about that now. It's no big
Mm, yeah. Yeah.
deal. Learned all those lines. Um, but it was Claron fighting Claron. That's all it was. And I tell you, the week before I went up, I got so scared. We were going through a rehearsal. I had snot running out of my nose, and I was crying. And Don said, "Claron, I'm going to stop you." I think I was on the sixth character, fifth or sixth character. I was like, "No, no, I'm going to get through it. I really am." There was 9 characters, but what it was is you may get one character named Flacco at the age of say 10, and
Hmm.
then in the second half there's Flacco at maybe 5 years old. So it totaled to three extra characters. So it was 9. But and then I started back up again, and he was like, Claron, I'm stopping you. I was like, okay. Oh my God. That I wanted to break my own legs. What if I got sick? What if I got the flu? That would buy me more time. You'll be too damn sick to learn your lines, idiot. I wasn't thinking about that.
So were you the like 4 months prior to this point? Like, were you spending your time obsessing over the whole over everything instead of using that energy to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna work on this person right now, or I'm gonna work on this person.
I should have.
At
At
that.
one, I didn't know how to because I remember reaching out to somebody, another director I worked with. I'm like, how do I take each character? What do I do? I forgot the suggestions,
Mhm.
but take one at a time. Do this, do that. Oh my gosh, it
What,
was crazy.
what was your biggest takeaway from that experience?
My biggest takeaway: I could do it.
Mm,
I
mhm.
did it, and I kept telling myself I could not do it. That's difficult. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard work. It was a lot of hard work, but I did it. I remember the last day I came home. had a glass of wine sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden this heat, rush of heat came over me. I was like, oh my God, I'm having hot flashes. No. And some of my friends told me, no, that was your adrenaline rush. You're coming down off that high.
Wow.
It's like,
Wow.
that's what that was. It was an experience. Would I do it again? Yeah. Um, I would, but now I would be better prepped, going in.
Mhm.
But I tell you, that was an experience. I wanted to break my own legs.
Okay.
That's scary.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah. What you
Well,
got?
well, I'm glad you did not break your legs.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so glad. Um, so when I was thinking about this topic, I'm like, what do I have? And the first thing I thought of was this this post-apocalyptic film that I had auditioned for, and Harold was in it. Harold Dennis was in it. And the director I was a little bit scared of.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I'm gonna have to go method for this character because she was so completely opposite of who I am. I was like, I can't comfortably just like arrive and like be her. I'm just have to slowly like morph into her. So
Mhm.
the week before, I stopped answering texts and calls from my friends. Like I just cut me out. And so on Thursdays, I would watch one of my friends, her son, while she was at work. And so I was like, this was the Thursday we were shooting that weekend. So I'm like, okay, let me just bring my script and just make sure I have everything. So he would be in his room playing PlayStation and stuff. So I, instead of being my normal self, I was this character, which was just very stoic.
Mm.
And um, so my usual self, I'm silly and this and that. And this. I did not allow myself to be that. I was there in the living room with my script and doing whatever. So when my friend gets off work and she comes in and she goes, Daniel Pants was mean to me, right? And I was like, and yes, people, Daniel Pants is one of my nicknames. And he goes, Daniel Pants was mean to me. And she was like, and I was like, oh shit. And I told her, I said, no, I just, I didn't play video games with them and I didn't interact like I usually do and be all silly and stuff like that. I'm like, because this character is really scaring me. And she was like,
Mm.
oh, okay. And so fast forward to Saturday when we're shooting, I arrive at the location and it is a barn that is leaning, literally leaning, right? And I was
Whoa.
like, this this is probably when I should just say sorry, but I'm gonna back out of this. But I was like, no, I learned these damn lines. I'm not gonna waste it. So part of me was like, I might die shooting this film. Am I okay with that? So I guess I was. So I go in there. So
Oh
it's
my gosh.
me, the director, and then the other person. And there's this gun, this old, like rusty pistol. And he's like, I just want to show you that it's not that I had to handle, show you that it's not loaded, this and that and this and that. And I was like, okay. Okay. So, so the whole time, and like this was like a 2-minute monologue, essentially, my scene, this particular scene. And I had a Bible in one hand and a pistol in the other. And we had to, like, man, there was a train and there was like a train that would go by or a plane. And so we'd have to stop and then start over. And I was like, you a damn lie, you a lie. So, because I'm like, this is prolonging my death. Like, I'm going to die in this barn. And the more times we have to stop, is greater the possibility that this thing is going to collapse on everybody. Because you could hear it. That's the thing. You could hear like the creaks and the moans of this wooden barn. And we get through it, and I didn't die. And this isn't necessarily breaking legs, but I thought like my whole body, I thought I would be crushed.
Oh my How did you feel? What did you take away from that experience?
Don't do that shit again. Don't do that shit again. Don't do it again. Don't do it again.
Oh my gosh.
That was that was my takeaway. Don't do that shit again.
Oh yeah. Leaning barns. All right.
Yeah, leaning creaking barn. Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, no.
yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah. So,
But it also that was a good process for me as far as like if there's a character that feels a little out of reach.
mhm.
I'm not a method actor by any means, but I think sometimes I do have to like shut it down
Yeah.
if it's something intense. But yeah, number one, takeaway, don't die on set. Number two, it's okay to go method. While not breaking any legs at all.
Exactly.
So
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
yep,
So what are we at our time?
we are at our
Oh
time.
wow, that
We
was
are.
fast. Well, thank you so much for tuning in with us, and we will be back. I think we got some movie reviews coming up
Yep.
soon. And our next episode is what?
Our next episode is unsupported.
Unsupported. Interesting. Hmm.
Yep.
Lack of support from others in your career. Mm. All right. Thank you
Fun
so
stuff.
much for tuning in with us today. I got to ring my bell. We will see you next week.
Bye bye.